discussion actually went kind of crazy on my TikTok channel, which I am going live. Hi, Mark. How are you? I am going live from my TikTok, my YouTube, and my Instagram account. So until I can figure out how to do my background for my live videos, one step at a time, baby steps. I just learned my TikTok. TikTok is much easier making your green screen or whatnot. We're having a real serious conversation, which I want to correct some stuff because I hate mispronouncing people names and I hate not having the correct information. So earlier, I was just speaking on the vulnerability with brown and black people in America. And I wanted to know, how do you feel about being black in America? It was a bunch of stuff that I talked about, so I'm going to go back over it. But first, I want to give again my respect and my condolences to Nolan's Wells family. And I can't imagine what you're going through. I'm not even going to say I understand what you're going through. I can't imagine what you're going through. And what prompted me, besides me being a television producer for the Apollo Media, I haven't actually done any videos. I did 6 seasons and then I kind of put it down for a while. I'm a big activist in Buffalo, New York. So the Save Our Youth Foundation, which is my nonprofit, for the last 13 years, for the last 20 years, I've been doing social work. So I went back to school, which I'm currently in UB for my master's in social work. So I just want to clear the air on that. But before we get into this really deep conversation that I want you guys to join in on, and I want to stay super respectful because I am super, um, I want my words to convey as strong as possible, but as well as thank you for Pam, I see you, girl. I did it a little bit, okay? I kind of got it together. This is the only the options of what they're offering me. So I got to roll with the options, but as well, I like to be true to my name. I would like to be authentic because I'm just like you. I don't care what I do. I am no better than anyone else. But while I'm getting myself together, I want you guys, hey, Queen, I want you guys to see my growth, okay? So I'm telling, I see you. I hear you. You're heard and you're seen. So please don't judge me. I won't judge you. I am a godly woman first. I'm a mother second. And everything else is just bonus for me when God is blessing me with the things that I do and who I am. I just want to correct some stuff. I mispronounced a few people names. That I do watch the Don Lemon show. I want to say I really respect Don Lemon. I respect his journalism, and individuals like that really bring that fire in my chest as a poet, motivational speaker, musician. I'm actually writing a book and has nothing to do with this. It has to do with motivating yourself and self motivating yourself. But this is forefront for me now because I have a 21-year-old son that's 6'1", 230 pounds. So I had to have a conversation with my son this week, these past 12 days, because my son is Nolan Wells. My son is just like Nolan Wells. He's well rounded, he loves people, and he'll put himself in any environment without thinking about being harmed. And I want to address that. But first, let me just give big ups to Don Lemon for covering this story so well. Let me give a big love out to Ben Crump, which is a civil rights attorney. Tyler Perry, well, he's paying for the funeral. And Colin Kirkpatrick. Colin, you're going to kill me for butchering your name. I said it a million times before I got on here. And it's just not coming out for me, y'all. It's just not coming out for me. So charge it to my head and not my heart. And let's stay on topic. I'm just gonna call you Colin because I feel like God is gonna connect us, and then you can, nicely correct me because I love to be, I love positive and I love constructive criticism. So if you ain't got nothing positive, if you ain't got nothing constructive, I ask you to please go right ahead. Yes, I'll be letting people join me um, in a few minutes. I just want to get through some of the things that I was talking about. I don't want this to be a debate. I want this to be a solution because it's a lot of individuals that have a lot to say about the parents and why the parents shouldn't have their son with white kids and blah 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 blah. And I feel as if we're in 2026, we should be allowed, we shouldn't even say allowed. Oh God, let's get that out of there. We should be in a mind frame, in a mind state of allowing our children, I'm gonna say aloud, to have that sense of discernment over themselves and choose whatever people and tribe that they want to be around, that they want to connect to. So I just want to say that. Is there racism in America? Yes. And if you don't think it's racism in America, then you've been asleep for the last 400 going on 500 years. So we just going to say that. And just to see our current administration pushing the narrative, every time I watch Donald Trump, I cringe. I can't even lie. And I can't believe that our government will elect an individual like that. So right now, to me, I used to really think highly of the United States of the government. I promise. I used to think real highly of the United States of America, your America. But I think the United States of America is a joke right now. I mean, a big joke. Jasmine Crockett, I really love her so bad. She always bring it. She bring it. It's a lot of people in Congress that bring the heat, but I feel as if that heat isn't brought hard enough. And speaking with Pam earlier, um, she really like put some perspective on what we are facing as a whole, as a black community. If Donald Trump really was for the black community, as you know, I be seeing a lot of black people staying with magma, whatever. I don't care about butchering that at all. I'm not even gonna apologize for that, but I will apologize for kings like Colin for mispronouncing your last name because I'm a queen. So I got to give a king his, and I don't want to just be disrespectful to you. But just with the story about Nolan Wells, it prompted me without my proper stuff together. Like I have my podcast room downstairs, and as I told you before, these surgeries put me in a state where God is isolating me to think and open my mind. And this story just touched me in a different way. And I'm talking about the cycle of black violence as well. And I think that's where we be disrespected, just thinking about the areas that we are disrespecting ourselves to allow others to feel like they can disrespect us because our children really don't got the foundation, and we're in an identity crisis. And I feel like a lot of us, majority of us, all of us, including myself, feel lost. So I was once in the streets, a female terror, hanging on a block, and the drug dealers paid my rent, fed us, and made sure we was safe in these streets because you don't really know about the streets unless you're in the streets. So I'm a lived experience. So I've been through it. I walked through hell. God took me out of that. I worked for the devil. I worked for the Lucifer for so long. God pulled me out of that. And I'm so grateful to God. So you got to know the difference of the voices that's talking to you. You understand what I'm saying? It's multiple voices, but it's only one that you pay attention to and you keep your mind on. Then I'm also reading articles about Black infant mortality rates. So I do want to put a name on stuff. I do want to make sure that I'm saying things in the right order so I won't seem like I'm just another individual on here just yapping my mouth. I'm not. I am chosen from God, like I told you before. I appreciate you guys weighing in. And I know I see somebody wants to be my co host. Cool. If you want to be my co-host, do me a favor, right? Send me a comment on what you want to conversate about with me. What you want to talk about, what you passionate about what I'm talking about, because I got a good energy from Pam, and I go by my energy. So I'm not on here for anybody to debate me about this young man's death. I'm not on here to go through a back and forth, because God is not confusion. God is not arguing. God is not misunderstanding. God is love. God is compassion. God is understanding what those parents are going through. If you are an individual like myself, I like watching crime videos and crime movies, and not because I'm weird or anything like that, because I like to know. Like, I'm not in law enforcement. I watch um First 48 Hours. I watch it all the time, like all the time, all different type of deaths and people dying, people setting people up, and it's real crazy and wicked. And I also we watched that, and we watched the news on how black people is treated differently from white people, even with arrests. You understand what I'm saying? I watch the news that says a black man could be running down the street unarmed and get shots either 10 to 30 to 50 up to 90 times with no weapon. But it's white men that can drive from different small little towns coming to like our town, Buffalo, New York, and kill people because they're black. And being right down the street from that tragedy and seeing my daughter screaming, crying out to me that my husband at the time wanted to go help. You understand what I'm saying? And thank you. And I encouraged him. Well, I didn't encourage him. I always encourage him to do the right thing. But God encouraged him not to go. And my daughter was upset. She was crying, but he was a witness to what was happening at the top situation. And God rest everybody's soul and everybody that was a part of that, because that put a damper on Buffalo, New York. It put like a awakening for a lot of us. And then a lot of people, remember I told you guys about the book, right? This book right here. If you haven't read this book, I recommend you read it. I recommend everybody get to it, read it. I'm on all three of my streaming platforms. And this book says the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave. Like, you can't make this up, right? So someone published this book, and in the book, it tells you right here on page 12. If you can see my page, let me back up a little bit. See that? See that? See that? It says, "Let's make a slave." That's what they titled the passage from Willie Lynch. Let's make a slave. And it says clearly, "Let us make a slave a slave. What do we need?" They wrote a list. Now, I do business, right? My associates and my bachelor's is in business administration and accounting, and concentration of marketing. The reason why I got deep into like my ancestry, because my dad was a Black Panther. Did my dad ever teach me about the Black Panther ways? Never, because as a youth, I was in the streets. I grew up. I was ignorant to the fact of the knowledge my dad was trying to give me. It was not until I was older, after I did like CNA work and stuff like that, and my dad, a couple years before my dad started transitioning, I took care of my father. And I was with them his last days. I was with them with my father while he was on his deathbed. I watched him talk to off TV and smile at me and said, "My father is coming to get me." So it's certain things that my mom and my dad instilled in me that I know this life, this realm is bigger. This realm is just one level, right? And this world that we in, it was like this bubble that we in. It's bigger than that. It's different realms. It's different spiritual realms, bigger than our own thinking. So to be on these different planes of these different realms, right? And to not think that our ancestors, everything our ancestors went through, right? They're crying and screaming right now for what our children is going through right now in the streets. And I ain't just talking about Buffalo, New York. Like, just over this last 4th of July week, it was 6 people got shot. I'm just reiterating from my first live. 6 people got shot. 6 people got shot. No, 6 people. It was 6 shootings. Excuse me. 12 people got shot. A few people died. So God rest their families too. And that was the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Let me tell you what our counterparts said on Facebook. Why they were celebrating, I can't make this up, why they were celebrating the 250th year of the United States of America, even though this was stolen land, built on blood, sweat, and tears, and built on blood, sweat, and tears, and y'all know the rest. That it was disgusting because while they're having a good time, we can't even pull it together. Even though Juneteenth is our day to celebrate. I don't know why we don't celebrate on Juneteenth, why we don't go big and do the fireworks. And that's what I'm priding myself on. Every year, I'm going to go bigger with my fireworks. I'm going to celebrate on June 19th. That's our day. That's our time because we weren't slaves. The 250th anniversary for the United States of America, for me, is a reminder that my ancestors were still enslaved. My ancestors were still getting beat, raped, tortured, slaughtered, and hung from trees. And now we talking about Mississippi, and all I can hear on God is Mississippi burn. I can't hear nothing else. Every time they say a black young person get killed in Mississippi is hanging from a tree, all I hear is Mississippi burn. Okay. I was coming from Lawrenceville, Georgia, from my aunt's earlier um, this year before I had my surgery to check on her. And I got pulled over by the police and got a ticket. And they're trying to force me to go back down to this little prejudiced hick town. No, I hired a lawyer. Is y'all crazy? No, don't you take yourself in those places. You understand what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in a place where you know it's white out racism. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't feel like Nolan Wells felt that way. You understand? You could feel certain things. And some people hide well, and that's the sick part. A lot of people hide their racism well. I've been around people. I'm gonna get back to the Willie Lynch letter. I promise y'all. I'm gonna read it to y'all. It's sickening. I just why I want to just talk about something else. Um, what really takes me, I don't feel like this young man thought he was in that type of danger. I don't feel like he initially woke up that morning and say, I'm about to go with my group of friends, because you can have any group of friends you want, and say to himself, there's a chance I might not make it home. I don't I don't feel in my hearts of heart that he did that just by looking at his pictures. I feel like he was excited and happy. And the fact that what bothers me the most is that the parents of the other three young gentlemen, I don't care if you're scared or what. I don't care. I feel like it's cowardice to I feel like you throwing your rocks and you hiding your hands. I don't know if you know what that means. And it means I feel like you throwing your rocks and hiding your hands. Okay, I see you, Pam. I see you. I'm about to lock you in, Queen. I feel like when individuals throw rocks and hide them and hide their hands, meaning you go lawyer up, you scrub your Facebooks and your social medias and your Instagrams and your Snapchats, and you take this young man's phone home, knowing that if anybody grew up in the streets in a bad area, it's certain things that the streets teach you. And that's why I know I shelter my children. My oldest daughter, I would say I had her young, so she did see the transition of me transitioning out of that life into a new life. So my kids got to experience that transition of being in a nightmare and going to your own heaven on earth. Is your life. You live your life at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you make the rules of your life. Can nobody tell you how to live? That's why the bullying, saying he shouldn't be with this group of kids is just sickening. Like he should be wherever he want to be. He should do whatever he want to do. You get one life. Enjoy that life that you get. Enjoy that life that's given to you because it's not yours. You on borrowed time. You don't know when you're gonna punch the clock. Nobody knows when they're going to punch the clock. I had thyroid cancer. I had 6 surgeries on my spine. I had a surgery in my breast because they thought I had a lump. I had a topical pregnancy. The baby burst in my stomach. My body filled up with blood. I literally was on standby for death 10 times. Literally on standby for death 10 times. And there's no way, shape, and form and fashion I thought these things was going to happen to me. And there's no way, shape, form, and fashion I'm about to lock you right in, Pam, I promise, that I didn't have a doubt in my mind that God wasn't going to pull me through, that I wasn't going to get through the situation that I'm in. Being in those situations, especially when I was going through radiation and I couldn't be around nobody and you have to shelter yourself, being in those situations, you take life differently. You see things differently. So I don't know if it was my spiritual mom that practiced they call it hoodoo, voodoo, whatever. I never believed in that because I believe as even as a child, I didn't seen whatever you give or whatever you do, you get that energy back. I don't care what nobody try to paint it, make it seem like it's not like that. It's like that. I didn't see my mom clean and cleanse people's houses. I didn't stood and seen spirits and watch my mom ask me, "What do you see?" And I recall it to her. But that's a whole different story. I'm gonna tell y'all. But saying that to say this, I'm a very spiritual being. I'm a very chosen person. I'm a sensitive. So right now my television is paused on YouTube. I have a curved 65-inch, and everything I pull up, I feel like this young man with this beautiful smile, beautiful energy, is just smiling at me. And much as I advocate for people in Buffalo and in Western New York, and I done been to different places, I done been to France, to music conferences and different places and speaking to different people. And I feel like God saying it's not big enough. You're not reaching enough people. People need to hear what I am showing you. And if they don't believe you, they don't believe you. I can't make you believe me. I can't say, okay, believe me. And this is not AI. But what I do believe in what actions people take. Because I don't, when people talk to me, I ain't gonna lie, I don't really listen. It's certain things people say to me, and my soul will catch it, and I'm tuned in. I lock in with you. Oh my God, I'm deep. I like to lock in. And then sometimes the people be talking, they be chatting. So I hope y'all know the difference from me locking in with you and just chatting. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not here to chat with you. I'm here to lock in with you. I'm here to lock in. I want to motivate your mindset and let the truth reset your mind. Set. So sometimes you have to reset yourself to even understand where you at in life and who you are in life and who you're becoming in life, right? And it's a lot of people, not saying y'all, I'm just saying people in general, because I don't want to like call on people names, even though I've been writing stuff down. I said, let me do the proper etiquette because anytime I did a show, I want to do Nolan Wells justice in this show that I'm presenting because I feel like it's still me talking to people, it's still a podium. So yeah, I feel like when you in this life, you have to perform, but your performativeness don't have to be delusional like our administration. You don't got it. People will believe anything. And I come to realize that watching our administration with Donald Trump. People are so gullible. It's two types of people. Well, kind of three types of people. It's people like myself that we're tapped in, we're awake, and we want to be open minded and we want to be transparent and we want to have discernment over certain situations and people. And I love listening to people. I love listening to, I sometimes, before I even got to do live, Instagram, YouTube, I'll just like people's stuff. I subscribe, I connect, I like to connect. And when I heard this, his death reached national news and that Mr. Tyler Perry was paying for his funeral and Colin was paying for another autopsy, and Ben Crump stepped in, and Reverend L. Sharpton is officiating this. I was just like, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Like, you got the hitters, God. If y'all don't know y'all hitters from God, I don't know. I hope y'all is. I get that vibe that y'all God hitters. And I'm not saying like a hitter in the street. I'm saying God hitters that'll hit your soul, that'll impact you. You understand what I'm saying? I need impactment. I need enlightenment. I don't like people with no substance that just want to chat and argue, go back and forth, go back and forth. But Pam, I'm about to let you join as a guest, and then we could talk for a few minutes, and then we'll get back into just I just want to hear different voices. So Pam, I'm locking you in right now. Let's invite you. I believe I invited you, Pam. Okay, boom. I sent you an invitation. It said I sent you an invitation. Oh, it said invite you to join as a guest, but so you don't have to join, Pam. I thought you was asking earlier, so I do apologize. Okay, I do apologize if you didn't, and I sent you a request. But the reason why I'm coming to you today, because I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna be on here long. I'm gonna keep it short, but I'm gonna keep it powerful. Sitting here and having a conversation with my son led me to make this live video, and my son and my children said to me, Mom, you do so much. You really on this case. And I'm like, no, I'm not on it. It's sad, you know? Like from the moment I heard they found his body to the moment I heard they couldn't identify this young man, they had to get his dental records. And if anybody know when they say they got to get your dental records, that means when they get in your dental records, you are unidentifiable. So that means his face, they did something to his face. So they couldn't identify him. And I don't care. Being in the water for 2 days should not do that to your face. And then it's so many false narratives spreading. It's so sad. And it was three questions I wanted to ask you guys. One, how do you feel about being black in America? Like right now, to this day, how do you feel when you wake up? I don't care if you got mixed children. As I told you before, my dad is African American and my mom is Indonesian. She's Italian and Indian. And that's because of my grandparents. And y'all know what's going on in plantations or whatnot. So I did my ancestry DNA, and this is how I know my mom is so much. But as a black woman, because you don't see all that about me when you see me, you see a black woman, and which I am, because I come rooted from my daddy. But waking up to tell my son, be safe, son. He just texts me, and he work in an area where racism is real in Buffalo. There's no Ben Crumps here. There's no Reverend L. Sharptons here. And I don't want to wait until something happens to my son where I got to get Tyler Perry, I got to get the Collins, I got to get the Bens, I got to get the Reverends to say, I need to represent this woman because they doing her wrong and injustice. Where do we draw the line in the sandbox and say, didn't we suffer enough? Haven't we been through enough? Haven't our ancestors paid the toll for us to be safe in America? Why are our people still being killed? Right? And then we got to think about the cycle of violence within our own community, right? So you move your kid out. I'm like Nolan's mom. You move your kid out. You move your kid out thinking, I'd rather not be put my son in the middle of the nightmare. but you traded one nightmare for another. And that's what we got to realize, that it's levels of nightmares. You understand what I'm saying? No, it's not wrong that you want it better. No, I want to. I'm in process of buying land. I want land. I'm therapeutic in that way. Like that's why I'm becoming a social worker. I want to find different ways to help people. I want to take the inner city kids and on field trips to places they've never been. I want them to get experiences they never had. Because what we lack most of anything in this world is love. Even in the hospitals. I don't know if y'all been to the hospitals lately, but the hospitals here, some of, I ain't gonna say all, even when I was at Mercy Hospital, especially Sister Jesus, ECMC, Buffalo General, they lack compassion and bedside manners. Compassion and bedside manners. When I had this surgery on my back, they put 2 rods in my back. Ma invites you to co-host with one guest. Okay. You got to leave me a comment so we can connect. Okay, leave me a comment so we can connect. I just want to know, like, tell me some of your thoughts. Tell me, I need to know your feelings before I go live with you. Because I don't want to make this a big debate, but I do want people to join in. But I just want to see your point of view. I appreciate you. But secondly, let's get to the second question because I never got through them all. How do we feel? Because I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about me too. How do we feel about being the least protected? Meaning, we can't even get arrested and the police to show us um, respect and dignity, regardless of what's happening and what choices other people was making, because we were pushed into this darkness and they created poverty, and now it's so out of control they don't want to take the blame for it. But you did. How did welfare was created? That's what we learned in social work school. How was all these things created? How was slavery created? What happened when the slaves got free and they gave them the land? What did the government do? They found a way to give the white man back the land. So why are we not thinking it's bigger than us? And the Illuminati's and stuff like that, right? We always talk about the Illuminati's, but it's a lot of black people are part of the Illuminati. I know black Masons. I say this not to make people scared, but I say this to say it's racism never left. Those racist people and their kids, because it's a learned behavior. Those racist kids, I hate to say it, little babies, your father, your mother, they used to make their kids watch why other adult white people hang black people from trees, babies, Rosewood. Come on now, the Red Summer. Come on now. You don't want me to go down memory lane. Things that we know, things that you should be researching. Bigger than Ida Wells and Malcolm X and Harriet Ross Tubman, and bigger than Malcolm X. And I am the daughter of Malcolm X. I am the daughter of Martin Luther King. Like, what do you mean? I am the daughter of Rosa Parks. I'm their child. Who are my founding fathers? My founding fathers are those individuals. Are those individuals? Excuse me. A little water. Webb Du Bois, right? Those are my founding fathers, not slave owners. They don't teach in a black community, right? This is why I start teaching financial literacy, because there's no school within our Buffalo school district, which we, the Save Our Youth Foundation, is putting our foot in the door so we can do programming with the Buffalo Public School. They made us a community partner. So we are making headway on that. We are looking for our third building. But you know how hard it is for a black woman to get funding to open up a bridging home for homeless youth and young adults? Oh, baby, it's hard. You know how many doors, once I got right where I needed to be, I had to sit with a councilman member for him to say to me, he's coming out to my grand opening, but do he know about zoning? Because my counterparts is Arabic Do he know about the zoning laws for where you're building at? So when they smile in our faces, and when you think that they are with us, they are never with us. They're all about control and power. And black and brown people are so dominant, so smart. We are so powerful. We don't really need to be a part of the United States of America. I never understood why we just didn't. We when we tried, okay, we did. So let me back. I'm not step on my tongue. When we tried to make and create our own town with our own hospitals and schools, they burnt us down and they killed our children, and they was upset because our banks was booming. So when we tried, they all killed us, flood us, burn us out, bury us, and built right on top of us. And we go about everyday life like we fit in. We do not fit in. If Donald Trump can bring out all the racist people that's voting for him, then y'all should know who now. If they voted for this current administration, you know where they stand. Ain't no debating about it. If you voted for Donald Trump, you know where they stand. If you watch the Congress meetings, the public Congress meetings, if you're watching this, when they can't even say who was the president in 2022, and they delusional to think the elections was quote unquote, I throw my air quotes, the elections was rigged, bogus, and we're still you're believing them. And right now, I'm about to say we're standing, but this metaphorically standing, saying nothing while we watch Donald Trump and his administration set it up. So when the election comes, they're telling you in their face what they gonna do. If they think, if they think, and they go, and the Republicans got the majority vote, right? In all houses, just check it out. I'm not making this up. Why do y'all think in the world that this next election that's coming, why do y'all think that next election will be fair at all? If they think that we cheated in 2022, right? I'm saying we because I voted for Biden. I voted for Barack Obama. You understand what I'm saying? If they think we cheated in 2022, what you think they gonna do in the next election? In the next election, if they control everything, if they control the narrative, where is the people, the $1 billion people, right? Where are you guys to stand and speak up? I don't know if we signed certain contracts because there've been situations where I've been in where people try to censor me because I'm uncensorable. I'm the unfalsifiable. The visions God give me, He give directly to me in my sleep. Everybody get their own gifts. Everybody get their own everything. You utilize your gift the way you choose to utilize your gift. And if you don't feel like you got a gift, then you around the wrong people. You gotta really look around you and see how these individuals is bringing value to your life, motivating you. I'm not just by words, but by actions. And I always tell my kids, don't believe what they say. Believe their actions. Watch their face. This is how I raise my kids, my 27, 25, and 21-year-old. That's why I'm scared for my son. Even my daughters now, because they killing women. They'll bust up in your house and kill you. That's why I took my kids to get their pistol permits and licenses to carry. That's why I taking my kids to the gun range so they know how to properly shoot. Not because I'm raising thugs, because they're teaching their babies get guns, probably for baby shower gifts. They baby gets guns for their first birthday. They babies go on hunting trips when they can stand up and hold a gun. Their babies is militant. Even in our counterparts, our Arabic counterparts, here in Buffalo, they separate themselves from black people. African people separate themselves from black people. And I find it ironic when they disrespect, we are niggers, right? What you think they call Arabics? Sand niggers. What you think they call Africans? They call y'all the worst. We all get called some form of a nigger. Excuse my language. They say it freely. Freely. They talk about each other freely among each other. I done watched all types of narratives and movies that not all white people, I'm not gonna say that, but a big chunk of them, yeah, a big chunk of them fake to like black people. They put that smile on their face. I know you know, especially men like Tyler Perry, because you in the strong realms, Tyler. I love you so much, like for real. You like one of my not idols, my heroes. You, Ben Crumb, Colin, Reverend L. Sharpton, you guys are my living heroes. I tell my kids about y'all more than just y'all. You know, I can sit here and just list the name of a lot of people in the situation. I'm talking about those who standing up right now and don't care how your counterparts looking at you to speak on something so serious. So we ain't gonna talk about all the dead bodies hanging from the trees, hanging from the trees in the summer breeze. We ain't gonna talk about them babies that's in college. We ain't gonna talk about it. We ain't gonna talk about the Ohio State. When I'm driving down in Tennessee too, oh my God, it's bad down there. But when I'm driving down south, the radio changes. I don't know. A lot of y'all know, y'all know. Stop me if I'm lying. When I'm coming from Buffalo, New York, and I'm driving to Lawrenceville, Georgia, I hear warnings of where not to drive after sundown. I was so freaking shocked and scared, y'all, because it was sundown and I was driving by myself. I was driving to Florida to see my nephews because I have family in Florida. I got family in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I got family in Selma. I got family in Birmingham. So when I'm driving, I got family in North Carolina. So when I'm driving down there, and this Pacific time, I was driving down there to Florida to see my nephew because somebody tried to rob my nephew. He a truck driver. He stayed in a hotel while he drive, while he do his route. It was easier for him. They jumped him. Do you know what they said about my nephew? He tried to kill himself. Why every time white people involved are hurting black people or get jumped or get lynched, they said we try to kill ourselves or we mentally screwed up? Why is that the narrative and why is that the easiest thing for people to believe? It's like somebody could tell you the sky is purple and you're going to say the sky is purple. Come on, babe. We got to call a spade a spade. Why they ain't hand those phones in? Why do they got lawyers? That's the question. That I feel like those questions are so simple but difficult to get to because those parents know the judge, stepmother, the doctor, the other parent was what? It was a judge, it was a doctor, it was a parent that worked in the jail, and all those parents with the police. Why he's saying it's a what he say? It's a drowning. That's what the sheriff said. And don't rush us on the investigation. But that was a white boy. Y'all would have somebody in jail already. Y'all would have rushed it. Y'all would have did everything in y'all power to do that. If that was the shoe was reversed, y'all would have had them black boys in jail. Y'all would have shot them dead. Why we don't get that same energy and why we not talking about that? Why we not talking about that? Why we ain't talking about the black infant mortality rate? Why is black women dying either with the baby in their stomach or after they have the baby? Why are so many black women dying? They said in the United States, approximately twice that among white infants die than black infants. That's in research. I said, I got to do some research. I got to do a little background digging now because I'm a monster when I start researching. But I just want to have a real conversation because we don't have the real conversations no more. We bite our tongue to have these real conversations. Okay. The gold. Okay, I got a whole bunch of y'all want to join. Okay, all right. Okay, but I got y'all want to join, but nobody leaving a comment, so I don't know. Tell me what your motives is, and I'll lock you in with me. I just need to lock you in. I just need to see. You know what I'm saying? I just need our energy to match. I just want to talk about something without somebody trying to yell, argue, or debate. Because this is not up for debate. This is not a debate that I'm willing to have with anybody, right? And I'm waiting for my god sister to get back on here because she knows she just went through something, and I'm not gonna tell nobody business because that's not my place. But you know what? I'm gonna just get off my Instagram and I'm gonna give you guys my full attention because I don't want to navigate through different. I'm gonna stay with TikTok. I like y'all. I like TikTok because one, y'all not just listening, y'all really want to tune in. So I'm gonna give you my full uninvited attention. And I ended my stream. I'm gonna save this and I'll upload it to my